Today we're looking at U.S. presidents arrested in history. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. In recent days and weeks, there has been extensive speculation and even statements made by former President Donald Trump that he will be indicted for paying two women to keep quiet about inappropriate relationships that he supposedly had with the women before his 2016 presidential campaign. Indicted is basically to formally have charges brought against someone and does not mean the person has been found guilty. Prior to an indictment, a group of people known as a grand jury look at the evidence and decide if there is enough evidence or good enough evidence to bring charges against someone. If the grand jury decides there is sufficient evidence, then a person will be arrested and await trial to decide if they are guilty of a crime. In the case of President Trump, there are possible allegations or suspicions of either campaign finance laws being broken or personal finance records being altered. The situation with President Trump has also led many to look back at allegations former President Bill Clinton faced when he too settled or paid a woman in a legal case against him for an inappropriate relationship. In that case, there was never a criminal indictment, and President Clinton personally paid a court settlement after his election and not before during a campaign. In American history, there has never been a former president that was officially indicted for a crime. But there was one president that was arrested during his term in office, and that president might surprise you. In 1872, President Ulysses S Grant was arrested for, of all things, speeding. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do you get arrested in 1872, before the invention of automobiles, for speeding? Well, Ulysses S. Grant was widely known for his skill in riding and handling horses. In fact, during his service in the Mexican-American War, before he became a general, he supposedly rode a horse through enemy fire, swinging one leg over the top of the horse and riding on the horse's side to shield himself from being hit. He was known for being a thrill seeker and trying to ride as fast as he could. So it should come as no surprise that in 1872, Grant was stopped by police officer William West, a former enslaved person and veteran of the Civil War, on the streets of Washington, D.C. for driving a carriage pulled by two horses too fast and recklessly. Officer West had been sent out to investigate complaints of carriages going too fast through the city, and in fact, Grant had been stopped by Officer West the day before and given a warning. Now caught speeding for a second time, the officer had no choice but to place the president under arrest. West is quoted as saying to Grant, "I am very sorry, Mr. President, but duty is duty, sir." President Grant did not serve any time in jail. He simply paid the $20 fine and was released. So Grant is the only U.S. president to officially be arrested, but many historians also look at another president that undoubtedly would have had charges brought against him. In 1973, then President Richard Nixon was accused by the House of Representatives for obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and contempt of Congress. There was recorded evidence that Nixon was involved in arranging a break-in of the Democratic Committee headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. in order to steal information. With the overwhelming evidence and clear guilt, Congress was in the process of beginning impeachment proceedings, which impeachment is charging a sitting government official with misconduct and seeking to remove them from office. Instead of facing a certain impeachment, Nixon became the only president in history to resign the presidency on August 9th of 1974. In all, close to 50 members of Nixon's staff were found guilty of breaking various laws, but Nixon himself was never officially indicted. Rather, Nixon's vice president, Gerald Ford, who became president upon Nixon's resignation, pardoned Nixon of any crimes. Again, a pardon is to forgive someone of their crimes and is a power held by the President of the United States under the second article of the Constitution. President Ford argued that in the interest of national unity, the former president should not be charged and put on trial. The presidency of the United States is the highest political position one can reach in America, yet it is important that those that hold the office of president are still held accountable for their actions. It is equally important that we, in an ever-growing media-driven society, do not lose sight of justice and equal treatment for all. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.